of applause. Welcome everybody here to SpeakuP Monday in the garden of tropical Nomad. We're episode 484 from memory. A lot of episodes, 500 coming soon for you, Gil. So tonight, there we go. So tonight is all about, we're in this beautiful place called Bali, which as you may know is, has many dimensions. It's a cultural leader in the world, being one of the only living cultures in the world. So tonight is about, a group of people, two next to me, which have found a way to help support the culture in Bali, which is obviously under a bit of a threat at this point in time. And they've managed to find a way through art, community, and collaboration. So Dharma Ninja Imports, we're going to learn a little bit more about tonight. Now, for those of you watching live online, so we're live on Instagram Live, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. So check Robert Ian Bonnick or SpeakuP Monday, one word, to tune in. Now, look, I'm going to read a few words about our guests because I think I should. So allow me to read. So please meet the passionate duo behind Dharma Ninja Imports, who are building bridges between sacred artisanship and global consciousness. From rural Bali to Nepal, their mission supports living traditions, master artists, and a regenerative future for culture and craft. So starting with you, Tangelina, founder of Dharma Ninja Imports, otherwise known as DNI, rooted in service, healing arts, physics, and community farming. Tangelina founded Dharma Ninja after 2015 Nepal earthquake, and she has since devoted her energy to cultural preservation through art as a tool for healing and awareness. And now brother Tommy over here, Bali born, he's a co-founder of Dharma Ninja Imports. Again, Bali born, rich in cultural knowledge. Tommy brings a multifaceted skill set from hospitality to art production, and his mission is to ensure Bali remains resilient amidst modernization by uplifting its artists and cultural roots. So tonight, some of the takeaways that you're going to find, there will be many, is, how is Dharma Ninja preserving Bali through its artists? The power of community building and regenerative culture, and how can you support and play a part today? So please, another round of applause for our guests, Dharma Ninja. So look, my name is Robert Ian Bonnick, otherwise known as the Gateway to Indonesia. And we have three award-winning initiatives. One is RIB and Associates, which is a growth and integration strategist within Bali. After you set up your business, after market entry, we take you into your market sustainably for the long term with culturally aligning to what Bali is. Number two is SpeakuP Monday that you're watching now, which is very close to that 500 episodes. That's 500 of these. It's a lot, right? Led by passion, fueled by excitement, but driven by change, right? That's what really SpeakuP Monday is really about. And then Tourism Architect, which is about how do we build legacy co-creatively with Bali, right? So first question, maybe we'll start with you, Sister Tangelina. We've read a little bit, or I've read out aloud a little bit about, why Dharma Ninja started. Again, the earthquake in Nepal, and Nepal and Bali are very closely aligned for you. But look, what is it that actually drives you? So on a day-to-day basis, don't want to lead you too much, bring in your family if you want, but what is it that drives you, right? Because people here, after Gil Petersill's beautiful warm-up session for everyone here today, are driven by purpose, right? It's alive and it's well, and I can feel it in their energy as well as my own. But sometimes, we don't ask people, how do we maintain that energy, passion, enthusiasm over an extended period of time? Not just for a year, 6 months, but for a lot longer. So if I ask you slightly differently then, any kind of secrets that have maintained, driven, or guided you on your path that you feel led to talk about now?
This is very rich. I really appreciate this. I have a practice. I've been practicing Taoist and Buddhist for over 15 years. And our teacher encouraged us to write a code of conduct. And oftentimes, code of conduct is not something that people think of in their lives. People think about code of conduct as far as like how you operate in business, how you operate your company. So I wrote my code of conduct well over a decade ago, and I've revised it multiple times. And part of my code of conduct is this deep, deep dedication to finding where I feel the most amount of care and making sure that I show that somewhere in my life and somehow. I was married 2 years ago, and when I was married, there was a pile of offerings in front of me. I married this beautiful man in a traditional Balinese wedding, and there was weeks of preparation and volunteers, and nobody charged us money for this. It was done from a place of pure service because they loved this guy. They've watched this guy grow up since before he was born, right? And in order for me,
So many microphones.
So in order for me to feel like I'm in proper alignment with the energy that I received from all of that, because we're coming to Bali as strangers in a strange land, all right? And these people receive us with hospitality and respect, love and kindness. And they're out there putting offerings out for a divine invisible every day. And to be a recipient of that after like knowing these people for half a year or something was overwhelming. And I cried silent tears while I received the energy from these aunties sweeping these multitudes of blessings into me. And this is basically what Dharma Ninja is about. I went to Nepal after a devastating earthquake, purely motivated by spirit. It was just like, you have to go. It was like a bungee cord pulling me. I had no funds. I raised money. I got there, and I freelanced, and I was welcomed by people who hardly had anything. And what they had was broken. And to me, that speaks volumes. And then the question to me is like, how on earth am I ever going to be able to feel like I have given the amount of care that I have received? Any of us, like our parents made sure that we were alive to get us through to this point. They may not have been perfect, may have had trauma, most likely, but like we received life, and that is huge. And the way that life prevails, and this is like the cherry, right, is that the commitment to art, the commitment to culture, that it's not ever in question. They're not ever in question of whether they're going to make the offering or not. It's automatic. I mean, my husband's like mid-process of doing something, and he's taking mabantan out. It's the little squares of rice and salt you see on the banana leaf.
Like a dali offering. Yeah, we do dali offering. It's called mabantan saibang.
And you make sure that that energy is taken care of, because here's the other thing, is that we're receiving from Earth daily, every second. We're provided with air, provided with water, and the fortunate of us, we have like clean shower, a place to live, yada yada, like all the toppings. But like sunshine and all that stuff is provided free of charge. And so when we show and acknowledge our gratitude and give back in some form of offering and service, this is establishing a relationship. This is acknowledging that we're alive because of the grace of many things that are provided free of charge. And so Dharma Ninja, to circle around about that, is it's my way of like in this deep, deep desire and need to show my care for all of that. It's one small way that I can give back, and art makes people happy. Art is something that provokes kind of depth, especially spiritual art. You'll be able to look at the lotus flower or the wish granting jewels or the halo of like transcendence that happens in a spiritual painting and be just like, there's something in there about that that's true to me. And it provokes you. That's the connection, right? So art is this beautiful like doorway. It's like a portal. Each art piece is a portal. And you can enter into a deep rooted tradition and culture through the motif of this art gateway and portal. And you get to appreciate it and immerse yourself in it.
You know, you speak so beautifully. And I know that if I don't stop you, you're going to go for about a half an hour.
Oh, that was the completion.
No, but it's beautiful though, right? And the beautiful thing about what you do is that, again, you know, what I'm sensing is that, you know, you are deeply connected through being married to this beautiful man, deeply connected to nature, right? Deeply connected to the things that we take for granted every day. Sun on our face, oxygen in our lungs. So this reminder of kind of the gratitude you mentioned, you know, before, I think is things that we take for granted. I take for granted, right? Be straight, you know, and listening to you, and that's why I'm smiling, but you're my friend, so it's okay. I'm reminded, as I feel with everyone here, kind of, yeah, that's right. We do take that for granted. I do take that for granted. That's right. And the offerings, which I'm not sure how long people here have been in Bali before, but when you see those offerings in the street or, you know, on in the temple, a lot of us think that these offerings are for the temple or for that part of the street. They're for the whole world. It's a frequency. So it's for the whole of the whole cosmos, basically. So now I've got goosebumps. So this is the power of what you're referring to and what you're so constantly in touch with, that it's and you put it into words. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Tommy, if I ask you maybe a similar question, you know, when people come to Bali, right, and they feel this energy, this taksu, right, what is it that you maybe explain to other people of what they're feeling and why do they feel it like that? What would you say?
So actually, when you come to Bali, it's like a magic, you know. Sometimes you see, sometimes you don't see things in Bali. And then believe it or not, it's like everywhere you go, it's like a lot of people doing offering in Bali. And then it's like we have the taksu as well. It's like your talent in yourself, but we decided taksu, and then a lot of things in Bali, like people doing the offering, and then we present that to the nature. And then sometimes people see like in the road, like what is this, and people maybe they step on it, but it's fine because they already, it's like a personal, I do that already, and then it means it's only for me. And then after that, when the people there, if they respect that, it's good. But if they don't respect that, it's fine, as long as we don't see it. But if a lot of people watching, like you disrespect that things, and then you look at karma. Believe it or not, you know karma, right? Like you did something bad, and then you got something bad. It's like you need to know like a lot of things. Maybe some people over here, maybe we just come to Bali, maybe only 1 month, 2 months. They just first time coming here. Maybe like a lot of people over here, they already stay here like for many years, and then they already know the rules, they already know what we done as a Balinese people, and then they put a lot of respect, and then they put a lot of patience as well to us. And then it's like connect each other. It's like you and me. It's like I don't know what you're doing, but you can ask, oh, what is that? And then people will explain it to you. As long as they know maybe how to speak English, maybe if they know how to speak English, they will using the body language. It's like, oh, it's like this, like that, and then a lot of things you need to know about Bali. Maybe some of you already know, and then we hope like in the future everything is there.
just a quick show of hands, right? So people here, if you're here for longer than 5 years in Bali, raise longer than 5 years. Raise longer than 5 years, yeah. Just raise it. All right. Less than 1 year. All right. Good. More than 1 year. Between 1 and 3 years. Yeah. All right. Cool. I mean, that gives you an idea as well. And look, one thing which we may as well do it now. So the people here, Canggu, the people here. It's a Canggu moment. Everyone feel that moment? You felt it too? I felt it too. I felt it too. So when we say, Tri Hita Karana, right? So Tri Hita Karana. Raise your hand if you know what that means. Good. Raise your hand if you don't know what that means. Yeah? Awesome. So Brother Tommy, I think this is part of what's going to be on offer for tonight. So maybe you being a Balinese gentleman amongst us, and Balinese lady now, just explain for people what Tri Hita Karana is and why it's important.
So Tri Hita Karana is so very important in our lab. It's not only in Bali. I think it's all the world needed. Like a Tri Hita Karana is like how you treating three elements in this world. Like how to respect the nature, how to respect to the God, and then how to respect each other. That's like three things you need to be a respect. Same like in Bali, we do that, we learn that, and then a lot of people already doing this thing, the Tri Hita Karana, and then it's working. We treat the environment, and then treating the people, respect the people. And then we believe in the God as well, respect to the God. It's kind of like that.
And just to add to what Brother Tommy said, and I'm coming to you right after this, Tangelina, is for people in the West, I'm from the West, right? West about me, East about we, roughly, right? Head to heart, the other journey. So if you start a business, an initiative, a project, then ask yourself, use that as a guidance system. What's the impact of my project, business, initiative on human to God, culture, customs, tradition, religion? What's the impact of my project, business, initiative on human to the environment, regenerative systems, policies, practices? What's the impact of my project, business, initiative on human to human prosperity, and how is that generated, how is it shared, deployed amongst everyone, right, within that ecosystem? So that Tri Hita Karana is personal, as Tommy said, but it can be used for personal, business, everything, pretty much. So it's a really powerful philosophy principle, which is part of the root of Bali and part of the root of why you feel what you feel and how you feel it. Now going to my sister Tangelina. So of these principles that you've been brought into in a big way, is there another principle that you feel is important for those people which enter Bali in the context of what we're about to talk about with Dharma Ninja? You can ask Tommy. I'm joking, you don't need to.
I feel humbled by this question because I feel like there's multiple ways of answering this.
I think to put it in the words of black and white and gray magic is that everything that we do has an impact, and the way that it creates effect is very dependent upon motivation. And so being able to ask ourselves, what are we being motivated by? This is often a question for myself that I need to keep myself in check. So coming into Bali and being all right, why am I actually here? And asking how can I benefit from this, and then how can I also share benefit? This is the question that I think is really important for us to ask in general, but especially in Bali, because the energetic and visible framework is so alive and well fed that it behooves us, it beckons us. There's more coherency which means that it speaks more clearly, right? And so if we're listening in any given moment, there is a lot that is being communicated. And then being able to ask ourselves, well, what am I communicating back? What's the message that I'm putting out there? Because that's going to color the whole experience. And I think it's as simple as that.
Tom, and then we're going to get onto Dharma Ninja after this, but is that a bit like with the Trikaya Parasuddha, like pure thoughts, actions? Is that is that how you see that, what she just said? Because it's beautiful.
Yeah, I see like that to her. Like she's like so very, like she a lot of asking to me, because it's anything she doesn't know, then she asking to me. That's the good things. That's why like she's good. It's good.
So look, in about 5 minutes, we're going to have questions from the audience, all right? So your time will come. If you have a question, something in your mind, might be about what we've just spoken about, feel free to kind of maybe log it on your phone, and you'll get your chance soon. So let's talk about Dharma Ninja, right? Dharma Ninja Import. So we've got a little bit of what it is, but I think you can take us a bit deeper, and so the questions would be then for you, Sister Tangelina, is, you know, what does it do, and what have you started to do now? WhatsApp group, right? So how would you answer those two questions?
Okay, so what Dharma Ninja does is like Dharma
is like the Taksu. It's our sacred gift that we're here to give. And then Ninja is very skillful and cultivated, and often silent and invisible. So that we're delivering our gifts in this way, right? And so the art is like this ninja, right? That delivers this beautiful gift, often containing some kind of wisdom and quite possibly a spark that ignites your own awakening the gift of your life, which is personally my big wish for everyone, is to open the gift of their life, and then we take that energy and awareness, money, everything that's being exchanged, and we actually channel it into and maybe you've seen some of the imagery behind me, is there's education initiatives. We've already started implicating these. I was doing this when I was in Nepal. I could talk story for so long as you have
again, like you're a storyteller, and we get almost like when you wake up in a really kind of Zen state, it's because of you. It's like you have this way of speaking that just kind of mellows you out, and you accept the information coming in, and you reflect at the same time when you speak.
Oh, thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate that. So the education initiatives are meant to bring about actually a deeper experience of Trihita Karana, and especially where it comes to the way humans interact and relate to the environment. There has been a lot of disruption. We've seen it. There's a lot of land development. There's a lot of pesticides, and these kinds of things disturb our connection. Okay, so anything that disturbs connection, this is actually where I feel a lot of heat. I grew up in a very natural environment, and everything speaks to me, and can be very annoying, but it's also very
sad.
It can be sad. It provokes anger. It provokes a lot of things in me, and I get to see where my judgment is coming up and where I get to be understanding and compassionate, because a lot of these things happen without people even being very much aware of what's going on, right? The Balinese farmers are told that agriculture is going to be more profitable by using chemicals. They don't question it. They think that the Westerners are coming here with a superior kind of wisdom or information. They take it without really checking up on it. Yeah. And so these are the kinds of connections that I'm really excited to be working with many different foundations around Bali that are promoting resilience and regeneration, right? That we are creating a portal through the art
into like actually reviving and respecting and honoring the pure land that is Bali. Okay, there is very, very, and I get chicken skins and I want to cry when I speak about this because there is very, very few pure lands on this planet. And to be able to be an experience of it is such an amazing gift. It is an enormous gift. And for Bali to come to the point where it may lose itself within a single generation, that is what gets me up every morning. And I'm like, Tommy, we need to get garbage bags for the front of the gang, okay? We need to go get them so that people know where to put the garbage, all right? Because they don't realize that garbage in the environment is actually harming the environment. They don't know. They're used to throwing banana leaves and sweeping the leaf and debris all over into the nature, which would compost. They're not used it's anyways, that's what Dharma Ninja is meant to do. It's meant to bring the awareness and money into these places to support the Balinese and help them with managing their finances, sanitation, waste, health and wellness, et cetera, so that they can withstand the modern challenges that are confronting them. Because look, this is a people that have never been colonized. You and I, we know the history, all right? The Balinese are willing to go fucking tooth to nail.
Just go for it.
Tooth to nail to defend their culture. And they are different because they will invite you in. They'll be like, you want to conquer us? I don't think so. But you see this land over here? Build your own temple. You can live with us. It's all good. We're a human family. And that's what makes the Balinese people very special. And it would be so heartbreaking to see colonization happen the way it is right now because of this insidious nature that it is right now.
You know, again,
the people that have been here for maybe a little while and those who've been here for less than the long time can probably see and read of things which are happening here at the moment, right? So just to kind of give you a bit of just a little bit of tactic. So Dharma Ninja, you know, one of the vehicles which is used is art. So we're gonna move on to that now, and then Tangelina, Tommy, you can please correct me where required. But you know, artists have this incredible opportunity to preserve Bali because they are history, they are culture. So if Dharma Ninja can create a platform where artists can come, be seen, right? And then be able to have their work showcased to a wider community. That's already very powerful. So if that wider community can be a hotel, can be a villa, where you walk and you say, you know what, on the wall hanging right now is a beautiful piece which speaks to me somehow. It has an energy, it has a taksu, it's something going on. Then if I can see a little QR code and I can whoop, and I can get that download and say, oh, so this is about the artist, this is where they're from, this is what they do, I love their work, I want to buy this and take it home. Right? So through one of the platforms which Dharma Ninja have, which is through WhatsApp community, which you'll over here we have these little cards here which you're more than welcome to scan the QR code. One QR code is for the group where artists can come in, right?
This is for the link tree.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. This is for the link tree.
All good.
But the information is there.
Yeah. So one WhatsApp community. Maybe you can explain this part if you like. So one part of the WhatsApp, I go for it. Okay. You go deep. I go the other place. Fine. I get it. So one WhatsApp community, a kind of general chat group, is for any artists that you know. You know, for example, we are talking about Bali at the moment, but there's also Nepal in there as well, right? But artists that you know can basically come and join an artist community. Conversations, discussion, dialogue. And then what the team can actually do is then package their work in such a way to display, makes it quite attractive to people. So another group would be, well, let's say you want to purchase some art below $100. There's a group in that WhatsApp community for that. If maybe your budget's a bit higher and you want to purchase $100 or more, there's a group for that which you can then join. And then going forward, we're talking about hotels, villas, and so on as potential vehicles, right, for this art to basically be housed, for this art to appear. So this is kind of one channel, and as Tangelina and Tommy were saying, is that is bringing the money in, and there are other places that you can let us know about, but the end result is how do they fund these projects, correct? So these community projects that you've spent time explaining, and the reason why it's important to you, right? Pure spirit, pure land, right? Pure thoughts. All right, so this is giving you, just in case you needed it, a little bit of understanding about how this particular aspect of Dharma Ninja works. Yeah. Now, I did promise you that you can have some questions now. So if you do have a question, please raise your hand, and we'll bring a microphone to you. I think this one here, my darling. Let's see. If there's no questions, you got one. Oh, sorry, darling. Thank you. We have another microphone. This is good. So if you have any other questions, feel free. Yeah. Pass it here. Great.
I just wanted to ask what kind of art, like art craft, like music can also be art, but like what are you thinking?
Okay. So actually, for the art over here, we have a painting, and then we have a wood carving as well, and then dresses, and then jewelry as well. But for the music stuff we have, but it's from Nepal, kind of a singing bowl, and then what is that, like a kind of drum something? Yeah.
The gongs, the Buddhist ritual objects that the practitioners use in their rituals. So you've got your purbas and your damrol and Tibetan carpets, Persian silk carpets, these sort of things.
That's for the art we have right now, because we need like connect to more artists. We need to connect more artists in Nepal and then here as well in Bali, because we just connecting artists in Ubud, and then we not explore out of Ubud yet.
Actually, we have a couple artists outside of Ubud.
Yeah, only the wood carver we have it.
And the jewelry and the textiles.
That is kind of Ubud as well, like people knowing that Ubud area. If you tell them like a Tampak Siring, where is that Tampak Siring? People don't know.
Tambangan.
Yeah, it's in Gianyar probably people know Ubud, but we said like all that stuff we got from Ubud, because people easy to think like, oh, it's Ubud. But if they asking like which side, and we can explain more about that. Yeah. But thank you for your question, brother. Thank you. What is your name?
Frederick.
Frederick. Thank you very much, Frederick. Yeah. Love you.
And where can they find you? So if, for example, over here, yeah, it's okay, brother. You have an online presence. I know the website's coming soon, but is there an Instagram where people can find you? If so, please let them know what that Instagram is.
Yeah, you'll see on the QR code is our link tree. So it has our Instagram and Facebook. It's going to get updated for LinkedIn and Pinterest. So all the information is on the link tree. So
just people who are watching online who maybe can't grab one of these guys.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that. So at Dharma Ninja Imports is our Instagram. Same for our Facebook, and consistent with Pinterest and LinkedIn as well.
Cool. So Dharma Ninja. It's a cool name, isn't it? So there was another question over here, yeah?
I was wondering, I'm looking at the beautiful footage that's playing behind you as I'm taking in all of the awesome information. The art seems like a beautiful intention, and I'm wondering, is there also an opportunity to take part in the Balinese communities and, put your hands in the community and contribute in that way as well?
I'm so glad you asked.
Question, because that's like going in many more levels deep, is that we do welcome custom designs, and then if you want to have a hand in that, then absolutely we can talk and make arrangements with artists. Many of our painters, and we can check with some of our carvers too, actually offer like mentorship, where they guide the student through the process of doing a painting, a traditional style painting. And yeah, if we were able to teleport, we could do that in Nepal as well, and that would be really cool. But if any of you end up wanting to go to Nepal, please hit me up. I've got some people to connect you with over there that's really special.
Thank you. Any other question over here? Yes, that's right. Thank you, brother. You are the man in the middle. Just microphone technique. The nexus.
Okay.
Yes, Sister Carol.
Tangelina, can I ask you a personal question?
I'm open.
Great. So you're married to a Balinese man.
Yes, I am.
What is the greatest thing and the worst thing about being married to a Balinese man?
I knew that was coming.
Because the life of a Balinese woman is far from being paradisiac.
I have to recommend she's like a doctor to me. My midwife, Ibu Robin Lim, has written a book called Bali, a Cage in Paradise. And I read these stories, and I had to slow myself down reading them because it was so emotional. And I actually messaged her and my husband at one point, and I was so pissed off. I was like, I can't believe this. Are these things that are still happening? How could you let this happen? There is you see the white and black checkered cloth and the white and the black on the roads painted. These are very intentional. There is the Sakala Niskala of Bali, which is there is the light and there's the shadow. And I would say they're in pretty equal amounts. Yeah, Tommy and I, what's the greatest thing is that we just get along so well. We're best friends. We're so in love still. We're looking for any moment to have a date night. This is our date night in a way, because we're away from the compound. We're away from the family.
Because I'm so very busy to taking care of a lot of things at home.
We'll take anything we can get. And then a great thing is that Tommy is really well connected. We had over 800 people that came to our wedding, and well over half of those people were not invited. They just got wind and they were like, dude, Tommy's my homie. I gotta be there. And I was halfway through my pregnancy and in this crazy kabaya uniform for a long ass time. I can't even remember. It was well over 12 hours.
Pregnancy,
I don't
800 people, 400 who you don't know.
Shoes.
What could possibly not work out, sort of?
Okay, so the beautiful thing, I will say, the rose and the thorn, the beautiful thing is that Tommy, being very charming and charismatic and very Balinese, he involved himself in every group and organization and community activity thing that you could possibly do as a youth. So he knows people everywhere. We can go to Lombok, and we can go to Lambangan, and we can go to Nusa Penida, and we will encounter people that Tommy knows, either a cousin, because he's got over 20, or a friend that he's done something with, and meaningful stuff. People that are very meaningful to him. And that beautiful amount of connection for us as Westerners, at least I'll claim my experience, is that we don't often have those people in our lives that have known us since baby. Maybe our parents, maybe some external family, but how well did they know you? And so witnessing that has been awesome. And the thorn is that we're constantly being pulled out of our schedule for this or that ceremony. Otanan, Odalan, Naben's coming up, people. We're having to time manage you wouldn't believe. And I have gone, I went through a pregnancy and gave birth, so I was given some leeway. But yes, I'm I'm expected to learn how to make canang and be part of all those ceremonies, but my expectation is much less because I'm a foreigner. And I'm also providing for the community and the family in a way that most Balinese women cannot. And I'm over 40. I've already lived many different lives. I have already got my Dharma and my Taksu it's clear. I'm not lost. I'm not looking for anything. I am on purpose. So I'm doing my best to learn the language and learn all of that. And the subtle undercurrent of resentment that flows is there. So, but because Tommy's family is really awesome and very zero drama type people, I've been really fortunate. But I can tell you, like, there is a ton of thorns with the roses. It's been a journey, and we've found our way, which has been long and hard earned. This is why we can even be with Robert pursuing this project right now, is because we've gotten the support of our family. I've got a 2-year-old at home with grandma and grandpa, and I have a 9-year-old that is enrolled in an ashram who's from my Nepal journey. So she's half Nepali that has been completely adopted. So the allowance and the beautiful compassion and openness of Bali is huge, and never take that for granted, because as soon as you step on somebody's toes, like, you may not know it, but you'll start to feel it. And that's one of the harder things too with Bali, is that they're very non-confrontational, and so there'll be sidewindy ways. So if you sense something, say something. Like, find somebody and be like, did I just take water from the wrong faucet? Okay, this has happened to me, right? There's multiple faucets. You can't get mop water out of that faucet, even though it's the same bucket that you use to water the plants. You can water your plants from that faucet, but don't you dare mop the floor with it. Anyways, it's deep.
You know, one of the things about the show,
Thank
right?
you for this question.
It's a great question. One of the things about the show is that, you know, sometimes people ask me, you know, what's the purpose? And I've got, obviously, you know, people inspire people, unity and diversity, entrepreneurship and social impact. These are the 3 things that every episode, again, we've everyone here know who Gojek is? Yeah. So the founder of Gojek has been on the show, right? So very, very high, literally it's 10 different market sectors. It's been a lot of episodes. What can I say? But the most important thing actually is whoever is seated next to me, whether it be a panel or one person, it's about how do you create an opportunity for them to be themselves and to walk into that space. So when I look at you,
You're a master.
When I look at you, Sister Tangelina, you know who she is, right? You know. When I look at Brother Tommy, you know who he is. So you've already made up your mind, right? What I would add to that is that what they're doing is a very powerful, important thing right now. Not next year, the year after, but right now. So Dharma Ninja, if you're watching it over here or over here, if what they've said or the resonance, the feeling of what they've said kind of hits you in that nice way and you want to do something about it, get in touch with them. If you're here, hang out with them afterwards. If you're not, reach out via the Instagram and different feeds that you're going to find. If you're a hotel or a villa or somewhere where you can display beautiful art, and instead of just building a building here and then having some, I don't know, like a modern art. I didn't want to mention names.
So I should.
Modern art, contemporary art on your wall, such as the one she just mentioned. But if you want something real from Bali, Dharma Ninja, right? No matter what the price point, they'll find something that can fill that gap in a very specific, particular way. Right, so just let that one sit. Now, while we're on Balinese culture, I just want to have an invitation. They don't know I'm about to say this, but it's okay because it's not about them. Otherwise, we're like, you're inviting people to my house. So Gil and I have a dear friend. Name is Erawan. He's the king of Kerambatan. Well, king of Puri Anyar Kerambatan in Tabanan, right? Ninth generation. Now, his royal Balinese compound was built in 1650. That's 17th century. Right, I prefer to say 17th century because sometimes I don't remember the other date. So it's one of the only ones left in its original state, still now. So over the last 5 or 6 years, we've been working together with people like my brother over here, helping, supporting, opening up Balinese culture to people like me. In the same way as Brother Tommy has opened up an incredible episode for her through their marriage into Bali. So one of the things is that coming up, and the date escapes me, but it's the Thursday, the 31st of July. Yep. There is a royal cremation happening. Has 2 parts. One is a cleansing, and one is the cremation itself. So this is a royal cremation, okay? So I don't know how else to describe it, but if you have never been, see where I'm from in the UK, and you might relate to this, a funeral is that, someone in a family died somewhere, and you go to a place, and maybe if it's open, you say your last respects and thanks very much indeed. They get buried, and then you get drunk. Sorry, maybe I was blunt. I apologize for those that I might have offended by that. But this is what happens, right? And then you go off, and it's good because you get together and you have this sense of not fun, but the sense of celebrating the person that has passed, right? Now, in Bali, it's
3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks. The actual day.
Long time.
The actual day, right? I was
a lot of karaoke.
I was co-hosting when his father passed away. 10 hours. 10 hours, and you can help me out here anytime, Tommy. So it's about returning the body to the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, right? And it is one of the most spectacular things that I've been part of. And Gil was part of it too, where you've seen the big, tall funeral pyres.
You think it's Mardi Gras.
Yes.
It's like Balinese Mardi Gras.
Bali Mardi Gras. And you're walking down the street holding on your shoulder this big tall tower where people like Tommy are up the top standing and kind of wibbling around a little bit.
Waving a rooster.
Waving a rooster. And you're going,
it's not like this.
We'll get to that.
Paper mache.
Paper mache. And while you're walking through the street, you're ducking to avoid the telegraph cables. You're avoiding the hole in the street. And honestly, it was one of the most incredible experiences I have ever experienced in my life. So why am I telling you all of this? Because you are invited. So if what I've said inspires you, touches you, tantalizes you in some crazy way, and you want to know more, get in touch, right? But it would take place on the cremation, the cleansing is 3 days before, on the 31st of July. It's a Thursday. So if you're inspired by it and you want to come along, I was co-hosting the whole day. I was not tired once. I was dancing. It was crazy. Earth, air, fire, water.
I'm with you, brother.
My God. So if you're crazy like me, maybe not so crazy, but if you're crazy, party's crazy, come and join us. All right. So it's an open invitation, and we'll give you more information now. But today is about Dharma Ninja. But we're talking about culture, right?
It's such a healing experience for the Western brain and heart to celebrate life and the transition of life in that way. It's really magnificent.
Now, questions. Yes, microphone. We've got one question, and we'll come back to you, Sabina. So, Natalie, get us back on track, darling. Come on, you can do it.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for so much inspiration. I'm just sitting here, as probably all of us, just enjoying to listen to you. So thank you. And I already got so many new
questions from my original question. But the first question I was going to ask, so you've been speaking much about, the art projects And I also see, and you mentioned education, teaching the kids. So I would love to hear more about, if so, how could someone support? What do you do? What kind of education? What projects are you currently supporting? Just, some of that.
This is a perfect segue because this is what my heart has been wanting to talk about is we're building a community center, performance art and cultural education center. We do intend to make this process duplicatable through all of Indonesia, primarily Bali. Bali is the most under threat because of tourism. But after Bali,
Canggu moment.
Canggu.
2 Canggu moments.
It was a Vespa. That was a Vespa. Is that, and we're also looking to take this to Nepal, is that there's a huge gap, right? There's, especially like the glamour of Western culture and the way it affects the minds of those who are from a third world or developing type of situation. And there's all these trappings and lost in communication things that happen. And so it's really, really,
really gratifying to be able to speak to young people about
rich what they have is. That the fact that they have many family members that they live amongst that have seen them grow, like this is a rich experience that us as most of us Western people have been orphaned from. And so the education is meant to like show them already what they have and be like, talk to your elders. Like how many kids are running around with devices being like mostly influenced by TikTok? This is part of what kills the culture within a generation. And so when we get them back, like our family home was free Wi-Fi for the kids for a little while. I asked Tommy, please turn it off. And next thing we know, the kids, instead of playing their video games hunched over like this, right? They're out making a parade. They're out making kites. They're make-believing. They're doing all of that just because we turned off the Wi-Fi. And we can keep doing things like this. So we're already doing stuff, and we want a center where we can start to actually bridge more with foreigners who are coming over, right? We make it really appealing, make it look super chicy, and so we have this like yoga loft place where we can have big workshops and symposiums and conferences, and we bring people together. We bring the locals together. We give them free membership, and then for those who want to get involved, we have VIP membership and tiered all the way through like 5 levels, right, of contribution. We can accept big money, we can accept little money. All of it's going to go into this place where they can have a different experience. You know, like the family compound doesn't have a playground. They make it their playground, but how cool would it be to have a real playground and then actually like a natural pond type swimming pool for them to play in, a permaculture garden where they can plant seeds, watch them grow, and then eat that, you know, and like have it be a common space, a community space where they can constantly go and see each other, you know? So, if you want to know more about that, we have a whole presentation and deck that we're working on. We're very slow in introducing that because that is, until the funds are really strong, we're not breaking ground on that yet. But we're working really diligently with our artists so that we can make those portals really active. And then as the money starts to come in, that's where it's going. Is we're going into, like, we're starting with our village, Buruan in Blabatu, and then we hope to spread throughout the island like a nice fungus that's distributing beneficial nutrients throughout the island. Yeah, we have very specific ways about that. We're not presenting on this tonight, but if you want to get together with me, absolutely, let's be in touch. I'm looking for a task force. Tommy and I have put together a team, but we absolutely could use more people giving us feedback, working on this piece of the puzzle with us. And we're already doing stuff too. So if you want to get involved, like this week, we could make a time. And I love cleaning up my neighborhood.
This week, you heard it, right? So everyone here, get your diaries out, phone, calendar, let's book in a time. This week. Lapa 2, we have some friends, by the way, there. Natalie, knowing you so well, there is also a few follow-ups, but do you have one that you want to, you feel like sharing? By the way, Natalie and Carol were both, when we had some co-hosts, that they've co-hosted quite a number of episodes of SpeakuP Monday as well. Phenomenal people, beautiful souls, amazing communicators, and just have a wonderful essence about them, and a wonderful spirit that just translates to everyone. So follow-up question, my dears, up to you. Yeah.
Well, thanks for knowing me. I was like sitting here like, okay, just like, thank you. And Robert, thank you for creating the magic for people coming together. Yeah. So if you would summarize when it comes to education, because obviously there are so many things to learn, but what would be the top 3 things that you feel is the most crucial thing to really focus on when it comes to teaching and empowering, the young kids or the youth, the Balinese? What would that be?
So the first, we will doing a lot of things we already are planning a lot of things actually, but for the 3 things, the first, we need to tell them how to respect the environment. Like maybe don't throw the plastic probably to the nature, because a lot of kids now buy some drink, like a plastic drink, and then after they drink and then they dump it to the banana field, and then yes, that's not really good. We need to educate them. Instead you throwing that away, like to the banana path, you take it and then put it in the trash, or you can go somewhere else to find a recycle place to do that. We need to do that for the first part, and then after that we need to educate them like a how to cleaning up, how to separating the plastic, which one is can recycle, which one is not, which one is organic. We need to do that, because in the school in here in Bali, they just educate kids like oh, you need to throw all the garbage in the place, but they don't tell them how to split it. That's we need to tell them as well. And then the third, we need to tell them how to grow something, planting maybe nuts, corn or whatever, and then from the beans until they grow, until they can harvest it, and then they can eat it. They need to feel that, how that feel. I did that when I was kids, I have one corn seed and then I plant it until they grow, and then I boil it and then I eat by myself, and then I'm feeling so very happy. Oh, this is my first harvest. And then now I'm planting a red rice in my field, and then I already got first harvest as well. It's so very huge, it's organic, and then I'm so very happy for that. Now I will do my second.
And we got more yield than is traditionally taken, and we used organic fertilizer and did a moringa tea foliage fertilizer. So it's doing proof of concept. So we're really, it's one of my biggest gains from what we've been doing.
Yeah, it's not only for kids, all the neighbor as well. For the grandma, grandpa, and then it's they don't have enough education. We need to educate them how to recycle, how to dump it their garbage. It's before, when I was kids, I'm going to Warung to buy porridge. I'm using a coconut lip to scoop the porridge. Now it's a plastic spoon or whatever. It's a throwing to the nature, and then already make it all your place dirty, very very dirty. And before, you using coconut, banana leaf, and then dump everywhere, it's becoming compost. It's fine. But now it's plastic everywhere, because people are going to market and then they don't bring any bag or something like that. They got plastic from the water. They take the plastic to the house, and then after they use it, they throw it. They don't have a recycle system. We need to influence and then educate about that too.
Thank you so much.
Be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would add to that as being a priority as far as education with our elders is personal finance, being able to manage their finances, and as well their health and well-being. Tommy's dad was showing signs of pre-diabetes pretty early when we moved in, and we just had a real heart-to-heart with him and told him to stop eating the junk food at the warung. He said, eat all the rest traditional Balinese food. If you get a sweet tooth, which he's got, he can have a piece of fruit, and we keep fruit stocked in our bamboo cabinet. And he not only got rid of the diabetes signs, but he has lost 15 kilo and is so energetic. The guy was taking up he removed all the grass during Nyepi. That was his project because the grass was higher than the pathway, so all the water would run when it rained big, and so he dropped it 2 inches below the walkway, and now we have also water catchment, and then he replanted the grass. I was this guy's unstoppable. He cracks me up.
Powerful. Sister Sabina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight and sharing your project. I find it really inspiring and interesting. My question is something that Rob said, that the cremations are based on 5 elements. It's 3 weeks over the 5 elements. And I'm a TCM practitioner, and I didn't know that Bali culture also had, Bali culture had the 5 elements. And then I see that in your logo also you have the 5 elements. So I was wondering maybe if you could speak about 5 elements and how it applies to art and culture. And then also, you have it in your logo, so maybe you could speak to that as well.
The logo, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'll share a little bit, and then I'd like to pass it on to Tommy too. Is that if you notice, if you're educated in Buddhism much at all, you'll notice that Balinese Hinduism is pretty much Vajrayana Buddhism. And then Buddhism and Taoism are extremely closely linked. And TCM actually came from classical Chinese medicine, and there was actually 4 pillars in the school pre-Mao. And the 5 elements were much more activated and embodied. Meaning that there was not just the practice of medicine. Medicine was studied along with music, magic being working within the esoteric sorcery type realms, and then martial. And these elements all support each other, right? And so with Dharma Ninja, and yes, yeah, I was very intentional with the colors and with the wings coming off, is that in the center you'll see we actually put a Balinese So this is one of my secret fun things about me, is that I love taking things that seem to be opposite and showing how they're actually working together. Science and spirituality actually work together. If you go deep enough into the science or the spirituality, they both prove each other. So we've got the Balinese Om, and in the center of this double dorje is considered the still point. It's the singularity. It's where all information is coming and interacting. The atom has electrons that are going in and out constantly, faster than the speed of light, exchanging information from the infinite eternal into the present now, still point. And so then the elements come out from that. And so part of this is secret stuff, guys. Where I'm coming from is that I love being in that still place. And when I go to to work on different elements of Dharma Ninja, I'll do my best to take a moment and create stillness for myself and be in the prayer of like what it is that I'm doing this for. It's for the benefit of self, others, and world. And whatever it is that I can do in my little still point over here to radiate out into the rest of creation through this art is to be in touch with people who are also in touch with that still place. And so you've got painters, metalsmiths doing jewelry, right? Wood carvers, stone carvers. Yeah. And then we've got the fabric artists. And I feel like these people are, they're working with the ethereal. And we're working with silk batik artists, which that's going to be my playground, right? So excited about that. So that's basically it. And then in Nepal we also have singing bowl smiths, and the metalsmiths that create the porbas, the dorjes, along with the bells. What would you? I think that kind of answers your question. And then
and some.
Yeah, and then Tommy, would you like to say anything about the 5 elements alive and well in our business?
So actually, the philosophy only she know that because she building it and then she create it, and then I think she's the one that already answer it.
But it's alive and well in your culture, and
in Bali we have several, nine element actually.
Okay.
It's a lot, every side, north, northeast, south, and then it's a different color and then different meaning. But I'm not really intelligent about that because I need to practice more. Only special people can learn that, Mangku prince, they know about that.
Is it does it reflect back into the natural medicine of Bali?
Yeah, it's some too. It's they put date as well there. Date for what? It's a lot of things I don't really know about that.
Right. So cosmology, divination.
Yeah, we have a friend.
Yeah,
we have a friend who doing usada as well. Chok Gede from Ubud. He know about everything that he's.
Oh
a
yeah,
specialist
if you want to talk
do
to
that.
somebody, talk to Jok Gede.
Yeah.
I can give you his contact, and then he's deep in it. And then there's something called the Wariga, and the Wariga is the Balinese calendar, but it's specifically for each person, and it'll show elementals that are alive in those days, and days that are helpful to initiate and speak and be outgoing, and then days that are more appropriate for you to be in receptive and stillness.
Yeah.
So I also have a contact for that too.
Okay.
So
yeah, in Chinese medicine, you have every 2 weeks the chi node changes, and so based on the chi node, you can go into treatments, or you can go into just what you were saying, action or non-action, planning versus taking action or moving forward, and then times for reflection. So I'm just curious to see how similar what is practiced on Bali might be.
sure, yeah, we've got some good resources for you.
Yeah.
Going into this, I had a feeling that you two would hit it off, for want of a better term. You two are very similar in many ways. So any other questions here? Yeah, so over here, if you could pass the mic, Sister Sabina, over here. Yeah, please.
Yes, it's such a great initiative, and it's so cool to hear more about it. I wanted to ask whether you're working with waste management with any bigger companies as well, even if it's just for my own knowledge, because it's great that you're working with the local communities, but then places like Canggu, and then individual villas, or even bigger kind of retreats and hotels.
Yeah, I have. I've made a connection with Shiva Industries. Yeah, they're doing great things for compost and organic waste, which actually is more of a problem maker in Bali than the plastic, if you can imagine that. It's when the plastic and organic waste start mixed together, and then you've got this horrible methane thing that happens. We have, what is it? The Sangar what? Or Sungai Watch. Sungai Watch is in our village. Through me poking Tommy all the time and getting him to talk to the Banjar, we got like a form of recycle waste service in our village. You've just got to poke the Banjar and show them the benefit, and they'll respond. This is the wonderful thing about Bali. Also, this is one of the roses, is that you're working with a lot of local governance, and things can happen a lot quicker than you imagine. Like, I was gone away in the US to do some business, and Tommy was like messaging me, I'm going to a meeting with the Banjar about organic agriculture, and I was losing my love.
SHIT.
Yeah, I love with this. I'm like, this is happening, and I'm not even there. This is so cool. And and then we planted our organic heritage rice, and so getting involved with your Banjars, like, show up, guys. It's an open air. They call it a sangar building. You can walk in there and do your best with your bahasa and ask how you can participate, and listen in as best you can. Bring along a translator and be like, yo, let's figure this out.
Just call Tommy. He knows everyone anyway. Just call Tommy.
This guy's busy though.
Tommy sent me. We call it the Tommy test. Just to give a little bit more breadth to that. Thank you, Tangelina, and great question, and brother Tommy for being everywhere. I appreciate you.
Oh
brother.
yeah, and we're gonna be teaming up with these organizations. As we go into the future, we'll be doing a fundraiser. We're working with a fundraising group to bring resilient, regenerative organizations together in a festival, and I'm personally excited to create a cycle charity, like 70K 24-hour cycle charity experience.
Thank you, Tangerine. So in addition to what you're saying, so a lot of the work that we do is private-public partnerships. So we're private sector and public, so local government and so on. So the beautiful thing about what you're bringing up is that on a national level as well as a Bali level, it's pretty clear there's three things: infrastructure, sustainability, and recycling. So it's how do we? Because obviously Bali has specific challenges. 70+% of tourism that enters Indonesia comes in through Bali, right? So it's a very important part of Indonesia, which obviously is, I'm not sure if you know this, but I know that some people have been here for a very short period of time. So it's worth me reminding people of this. We're talking about 700+ cultures, 500+ languages, right? Almost 280 million people, 17,500 islands plus. From one side to the other, it's 5,100 kilometers. It takes 6 hours to fly from east to west, right? It's huge, Indonesia. It has the second longest coastline in the world, the largest archipelago in the world. So there's a great deal. The average age is under 30, right? So there's so much to it. And within all of that, this little island called Bali has 70% plus of the tourism coming through it. So again, national government, regional government, Bali governor, if you take some time to listen, now are really on the offensive, if I can use that word, to find ways to solve some of these challenges. And again, in this show, I've interviewed so many different people over the years in this area, and it's not a question of technology. It's not a question of or a lack of machinery to do this. It's other things that we'll talk about another time. So again, but now is a very good time for you to do what Tangelina and Tommy are saying, which is go to your local Banjar, bring a Tommy with you if you can, and have that conversation, because the more people that go on, knock on the proverbial door, the more things happen at a local level. But it also takes time. And Bali has a different rhythm to where I'm from, the UK, to where probably many of you are from. So there's a certain adjustment period as well within that. Yeah, she's a follow-up, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like in communities like Canggu, we should all be doing our little bit, right, as well. Yeah.
There's a wonderful place called Cheluk. Celuk. Celuk. Check this place out. So, as Tangelina and Tommy were saying, organic waste accounts for over 60% of what comes out of a household. 60% plus is organic waste. Cheluk has not had any organic waste exiting the village for, I think, 4 or 5 years. Right, we did a special event there about 2 years ago. A friend of ours, a guy called Janur Yasa, who created Bali Plastic Exchange, another story for another day. They work on composting. So essentially under the whole village is a series of composting containers, but very close to every household. So when you have anything which is remotely organic, that's where it goes. So you have a dual system. So you're filling up one, then 6 months later you're going to the other one, and again you empty while the other one is being filled up, and then that compost goes to farmlands, cultivating agriculture and so on. But it is a beautiful thing. Go and check it out. Cheluk, Celuk, not far from Ubud. It's incredible what they've done, really. Brother Gil, you have a question? Yeah.
So it was really a beautiful follow-up to what you were asking, but you just mentioned Janur, and when you were mentioning show up at the Banjar, it's not easy in the beginning for me because I couldn't speak the language for them, but we were here during COVID. So I say go and come up with some ideas of what you could do. So we got very involved with plastic exchange, so we actually sponsored six Banjars around my home for one kind of simple reason for me, but it was when I walked with my kids, I didn't want to see plastic. So actually, we helped Janur to create this system where there is no plastic because they get paid somehow in rice and in food. Or if you're entrepreneurial, show up there and maybe come up with ideas with them, how to do compost. I always showed up with tea. So I did a tea break for them. So I'd get a lot of people to show up. Guys, free tea and cookies. Come and hang out. Come and network with us. And it's cool. And some people will speak English. Some will not. Make some local friends and take them with you so they can kind of be your little translators. It's fun. Just get them some tea. Yeah. So I like showing at the Banjar. You don't always need this guy. He's going to be very, very busy. But you probably have an army of people. So make it easy for us to reach out, maybe not to just you, but to one of the students that you're working with that have more free time. So people could show up to the Banjar this week. We could show up in 20 Banjars. And anyone that's watching online, maybe there's also something that they could do. They could support a Banjar or adopt a Banjar. Thank you, guys.
Adopt a Banjar. This brings up a piece that I have been in my daydream fantasy world about. Once the community center is built, what am I doing? Oh, I'm training teams of people from different Banjars to be seeds of life inside of those Banjars to create different things, create different initiatives of their own, taking in the information of what is going on in that local village. What do they need? Oh, so-and-so needs a roof. Okay, help that person out. We need to do a plastic exchange, or we need to figure out somehow to deal with our waste. And then also people are burning garbage and our children are constantly sick with the flu. Let's implement some real simple things like teaching people how to compost instead of burning their stuff. For me, it's an easy alternative, right? It's not hard, but it's education and having more and more people that can do that. Yeah, this is a deep place of where my passion lies.
Can I just throw 30 more seconds? You just gave me that download about fixing roofs. So during COVID, we got befriended with King Erawan of Karambatan. And it was really interesting to start meeting kings. And through the kings, because they're really great community leaders. They're trying to do a lot for their community. Again, disconnect from what we learned about politics. And they're really they're holding space for a lot of people. So if you want, you can network with some of the kings and you could do some gatherings at their place to help. And they spread the money in really special ways. Or you can come to these kind of communities and they'll connect you. Network with these guys. It's really, really good. But fixing roofs, that was a fun one. And toilets and stoves. It's really cool. I got into it's a hack. Getting people stoves. They're not used to having Balinese people, not many have a stove. But it's really the cookies and the baking stuff. It's really fun gifts to buy 100 and see what happens.
So Lapertu, the king, is a friend of Gil and I. So that's another one, but they are too. So any other questions? We're going to begin to wrap up soon. But any other questions out there? Yes. So Brother G, the microphone. Do you still have it, or is it? Yeah, beautiful. If you pass it over here to Diane, yeah, all the way to the end. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Now, while it's getting there, for those of you watching now, maybe just joining us, episode 484, SpeakuP Monday, Dharma Ninja Imports. Again, two amazing people who have found a way to how do you preserve the culture here in Bali through art, and they have a wonderful platform out of some of the many things that they're doing, a wonderful platform, Dharma Ninja, which is about how do you bring artists, let's consider Bali for a second, but it's Nepal as well. How do you create a platform for artists here in Bali to not only express themselves but also be rewarded for what they do? At the same time, by adding, as simple as adding a QR code to the artwork, which goes in maybe to hotels, to personal homes, private villas, and so on. Through that, and people being able to access it through their phone, you're able to download and get embellished with the information about the artists, where they're from, why they did that work, what it stands for, what's the significance, why is it you feel that taksu, that energy from it. And then it allows you to kind of learn that little piece of Balinese culture, maybe to go and purchase some more work from that particular artist. So in doing so, you're able in this way to keep on that cycle of preservation and help these two wonderful people in Dharma Ninja support these incredible projects here, which are very community related around education, around sustainability. The Tri Hita Karana that we spoke about before typifies the work that they're doing. Right, so there's a very quick summation there as we go over to you, my dear Sister Diane. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm just wondering whether anybody has given any thought to providing funding and scholarships to people who come from lower socioeconomic villages, because something that I've heard a lot through talking to some of my local friends is that a lot of the time they simply don't have the resources.
A little bit closer to your mouth, my darling. Yeah.
They simply don't have the resources to be able to access tertiary education. And if you've got a situation where, the average age is under 30 and the government isn't actively providing scholarships, and those scholarships are highly competitive, it means that for people to be able to actually further their education in this space, it's really limited. And I know that a lot of people are really fascinated and interested, but they're simply priced out from being able to do it, and they're trapped in this state of having to focus on skills that are more likely to generate an income and an immediate income for them and their family.
Sister.
Okay, so by the way, about the scholarship in Bali, it's not so much people can get it, because some people and then some school, they don't have a system, and then they doesn't do a scholarship like that. But in here in Bali, we have maybe somebody they want to get a scholarship, maybe somebody they don't have money and then they want to go to school. It's one place in Bangli, it's called Gurukula. They can go school over there, I'm the parent for the example, and then my kids cannot go to school because I cannot pay the school. And then it's one place in Bangli, it's called Gurukula. You can drop your kids there, and then your kids can get better education over there. It seems like a normal school in the village, but it's more different. You don't need to pay the book, you don't need to pay the clothes. And then if you want to put your kids over there, in an ashram, and then you can keep your kids over there, and then they will feed your kids. And then maybe sometime if you have money to support the ashram, you can bring the groceries over there, you can bring water, or maybe some support you can over to them.
Does that apply for tertiary, or is it just younger years? Once you get to...
This is from elementary school up to university.
Yeah, until high school. Until high school, probably.
No, I looked it up. It's until university.
The university probably is depend if you have a scholarship. Yeah, the university. The university is not for for how to say they don't have money or something like that. You need to pay for that for the university until high school only.
I think that's the space I'm talking more of, because a lot of the people that I know, they start working when they're 6 years old and then have the funds pulled aside, and then they might not even have the means, like the financial means, to be able to go on to a tertiary level education. And it sounds like those skills are really going to be needed here.
Two quick things. So one is going to give you 30 seconds to let people know about Bali Billboard, right? Because people here, you weren't here earlier on. You made the distance from Ubud to here, so I think people here should hear what you do. I think that will be great for them to hear that. The second thing is that on the show over the years, many NGOs of different shapes and sizes, some which come off the top of my head: Bali Children's Foundation, Educate Bali, Ragam Foundation. There's a whole bunch, right, which are doing work with children, and that also includes the educative pathways as well. Again, it doesn't help everyone, but they're doing some incredible good there as well, which happy to share those connections with you. But 30 seconds, Bali Billboard, what's it up to?
Oh, okay. Bali Billboard is a little startup project that I've been working on recently, and it is just a platform that's designed to allow people to, I guess, pop up any events, anything to do with arts and culture that they would like to have showcased, and get in touch. It's something that a lot of people have really identified a need for, because at the moment everything is scattered across different Facebook pages and various WhatsApp groups, and it's just meant to be a one simple centralized point that everybody can distribute information from.
So Bali Billboard, 1L in Billboard.
1L.
There you go. So I think Carol wanted to quickly add something. I stress quickly, but I know what Carol's like.
As a teacher, and I used to teach teens up to university, I would say that the best option that they have is to actually know how to leverage AI and YouTube, because the level of education here is not one that I would recommend. So if they really want to be up to date, and if they want to understand what it is that the tools and the skills that they have to develop for this modern world, they're not going to learn it at school here. Definitely not. But AI, they can curate their own education, and have their own teacher and create their own agents. So if there is some money that I would put it in actually creating through a place like Replet, a teacher, an AI agent that can teach those kids about the skills that they need, and then make the most out of YouTube, because this is free. But what's available in education is really not at the standard that's required.
Thank you, Sister Carol. So look, we're gonna.
Khan Academy.
Khan Academy. Thank you, Brother Davide. All right. So what we're going to do is, as we begin to wrap up, by the way, we're going to have some photos. We're going to do some tea. There's a bunch of things we're going to do. But the final two questions to you two, maybe Tommy, you first, and whichever way you want to go is fine. And I want to say a few words before you're going to answer, so you have some time to think, right? So today's show, right, Dharma Ninja, about Bali, about what you're doing. So it'd be nice for you to repeat, or if there's something that you missed that you want to say, thinking, you know what, we haven't spoken about this thing and I want to mention it, feel free to do so. And please remind people of how to connect with you, right? And if necessary, like what kind of how can they contribute to what you're doing? Remind us of that. And there's two of you can chin wag together to work out which person's going to say which thing is fine. You've got about 2 minutes to think of what your answers to that will be. Now, in the meantime, I just want to thank a few people. In no particular order, I want to thank my brother Gil Petersul over here. Round of applause for Brother G, please. My man. So, a few words, Gil Peterson, Chat Tea, right? Chat Tea, a global movement in tea, which, my brother, so proud of you. This guy is a global network king, I use that word very wisely, is a beautiful human being. We've been friends for some years now here in Bali, connected by Rhonda Swan, Erawan, the king of Purianya Kerambatan, massive heart, massive ability to serve people on a huge level. And yes, we can talk about Tony Robbins and all this global network that he has in the palm of his hand, which he does, but it's his heart which is the thing which is important. And again, what he's been doing here in Bali, for us, is really cool. So if you have the opportunity afterwards to hang out with him, grab some tea, he is wonderful at creating spaces for connection, collaboration. Yeah, suggest that you take it. If not, grab the details of Chat Tea and visit them wherever they are. Right. So that's Brother G. Want to thank Brother G, another Brother G. I love the G's. Guzman over here. Round of applause for Brother Guzman. Right.
Yeah.
Listen. Right, and Sister Ayu as well, of course. So I know Ayu, Sister Ayu, right? So this is episode 484. 306 episodes ago, we started here at Tropical Nomad. During that time, we had a whole bunch of people that I've mentioned two of their names who basically started it. In the beginning, it was a struggle, Guzman, Sister Ayu. It was a struggle. And now I sit here, you know, Ayu is always connected to us. Ichi, a whole bunch of others. But, you know, Guzman, the job he's doing, it was 3 people were doing it. And now he's doing it by himself. So again, massive respect for you, Brother Guzman, because it's amazing what you've done, brother. Thank you so much. Really. Thank you again. I mentioned Natalie, Carol before, who have been co-hosts of this wonderful show in the past and will be again in the future. Again, soulful, beautiful people which are aligned to spirit and heart, and able to communicate that in such a way that you feel it, right? Which is a beautiful, powerful skill, tool, and ability. So thank you very much again. And look, next week, we have a very interesting show. It's about real estate with a difference. So it's luxury, right? So it's very high end. Bali and Australia coming together to create properties that honor Bali in a very deep way. And again, and it's about creating as well this kind of tourism which has great value, because the people interested in these sorts of properties, they need to be connected in a way to even think about going there, right? So that's next week. 3 Crowns Property is the name. Yeah, 3 Crowns Property. So you can check them out. So please come for that. It'll be a very interesting episode about how, again, Bali and Australia can come together to create something quite special and magical, right? Next week. What else do I want to say? I want to thank, of course, Dharma Ninja Imports, right? So we spoke about this a little while ago, and this came together in about 5 days. So it's like, you know what? This Monday we're going to be on. She's like, okay. So we're here. So I'll do, Brother Tommy, thank you so much. And obviously Sister Tangelina, what a wonderful contribution, couple, energy, spirit, taksu that you have. So thank you so much for being on the show today. And look, the floor is yours to kind of see us out. And again, you know, the question is, anything that you want to repeat, anything that maybe you haven't thought of that you think now is a good time to mention it. Let people know how to contact you, and if there's anything that they can contribute to you and what you're doing that would actually help. Yeah.
Okay, so by the way, so thank you very much for all of you here already participate this evening. Thank you very much. Can I get your applause for tonight? And then, so it's so difficult for me and then for her, like make it this small thing and then until bigger. We just started, and then I think without you we cannot growing up together, because you know, from small thing we can doing something bigger in the future. And then now we need your help as well. Maybe you have a family who like love painting, love carving, or love doing something in society. You can share this thing like about Dharma Ninja, about the Dharma Society, and then the community as well. So later after this I will share for all of you the sticker, and then we have a card name as well over here. We will share one by one to you. So, and then we hope like from this show, Dharma Ninja can make it a bigger connection, wide connection. A lot of people can connect with us, and then we can do a lot of things for my village, for my region, for Bali, and then maybe for Indonesia, because Indonesia is so very wonderful with the people, with the nature, with everything in it. And then I grew in here in Bali. We hope we can work this together, make it Bali better, Ubud better, everywhere better. Thank you. And then you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Tommy. And thank you, Robert, for providing such an epic platform. And I'm a huge fan, and Bali Health Hub and all of that. I have so many connections I want to make. And for us and what we're doing, this means so much. The next steps for us are really connecting more with the resilient and regenerative projects that are active. And this can be nonprofit or business. Tobias, I need to follow up with, of course. I'm excited. Like my next steps are working with clients who are hotel managers and villa project owners, so that we can help them help provide their beautiful interior design with our flavor, with Bali's flavor, and being able to promote our artists. So that's a specific ask. And we're happy to connect with philanthropists and entrepreneurs. We have other business ideas. I would love to be able to clone us, but there's plenty of people out there. And so if you know of entrepreneurs or anyone that's interested in teaming up with us that are also committed to preserving Bali and seeing Bali into its next chapter in a way that's really honoring and respectful, that's who we want to connect with. And the rest of the network you got covered. I was just thinking of the rest of what we're up to, and Robert's got us pretty well covered. But if anything about this is inspiring to you, see how you can plug in with us. Most of the time I make myself available for this, so be in touch. I'm happy to share my personal contact as well, for people who want to move in a way that's more core team oriented. So,
And social media?
Yeah, and our social media, as mentioned before, is at Dharma Ninja Imports for Instagram and Dharma Ninja Imports for Facebook and Pinterest. And LinkedIn is Tangelina, the aviatress, and then my business project is underneath my personal. So this link tree on the QR has pretty much all the information in there. And stay tuned for our website. We're probably about 2 weeks away from launch, where we'll be featuring artists on a regular basis. Oh, and our WhatsApp community, which the QR code has been shared in all the groups. This is a really great way to be able to connect with us and the artists now. And if you come across in say you end up in Ahmed or something, and you've come across some exquisite artists that you would like to turn on to us, we are open to receiving more artists.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for you being here. Round of applause, everybody. Dharma Ninja Imports. See you next week. Woo.